Hey guys, Steven here from Airsoft Tech, and today I'm bringing you the video review of the Aftermath Typhon or Typhon SOCOM Full Auto CO2 Gas Blowback M9. And if you're interested in purchasing this gun after the review, I will put a link in the description where you can go to airgundepot.com where you could purchase this gun for around $115. It retails for like I think $135 or something like that, but they only sell it for $115. So great price, and I'm going to say you guys it's well worth the money. So now, without further ado, why don't we get into the review, and I'm going to show you guys what comes in the package when you buy it. You will get the M9 itself, a 35 round high capacity M9 CO2 magazine, the manual of the gun, and it's actually not a bad manual. I thought I was going to get a little cheap manual, but it's actually not bad, so I was kind of pleased to get this type of manual. So you get this, and you get one more thing. And lastly, you get a little bag of probably 0.20 gram BBs, which I'm guessing are low quality, so I recommend you not to use them, so just throw them out. Alright guys, so yes, today I'm doing my review outside, not inside, but I felt like doing this because it's a pretty nice day out, not too warm, not too hot, so we're doing the review outside. But now on to the actual review of the Aftermath Full Auto CO2 Gas Blowback M9. First of all, I just want to show you, it has a pretty nice trademark of Aftermath, and then it says Miami, Florida. Hopefully my camera will focus for you guys. Well, it just says Miami and then FL, which stands for Florida. But it's a very nice pistol, you guys. So starting off with the magazine, I guess, you do have your mag release button right there. It has a nice texture to it. Just push it and your whole magazine will come out. If you're wondering why there's a see-through hole right here, that's where your CO2 cartridge will go. And I will get into that later in the video. But here you do have a 35 high cap or 35 round high cap magazine CO2. And actually, guys, I have to say one thing. And if you're wondering why my magazine is so like scratched up and has residue all over it, because actually mine broke and I had to try and fix it, but I couldn't, and the problem was the plastic lips broke off when I was feeding it, and they tell you to feed it through this little hole in the bottom, and I just find that a complete pain, and I just honestly don't like it. I think it's better just to feed it one by one through the lip. But I guess I wasn't careful enough, and I broke one of the lips off, so I tried hot gluing it and like using crazy glue, and it wouldn't work. So I had to buy a whole new separate magazine, and when the magazine came, the little ridges in the magazine were not high enough to catch into the magazine well. So I was really frustrated. But I did get my money back. But one thing that I did do, I didn't get my money back actually, that was for a different thing. But what I did do with the magazine that I ordered, I actually replaced the whole top part. So the lip, where the gas can release from, get that for you guys, where the gas will release from, and practically this whole top part. And what you do is you just take a little screwdriver, and you see that little metal pin, you just put the screwdriver there, you hit it with a hammer, and the pin comes right out, and you can slide this whole piece out, and that's what I did, and I replaced it, and now it works perfectly. But one thing that did happen, which I'm pretty upset about, but I do have some good news, is that when I took that out, the whole spring flew out, and some of the buttons on the spring broke off, so now I can't use my fingernail or anything to slide it down or anything like that to lock it in place at the bottom. Actually, it broke, and so I'm pretty frustrated, so I have to use a screwdriver to actually pull it down. It's not that big of a deal or anything like that, but it'd be a whole lot easier if I could just use my fingernail or something like that. But one thing that you guys will notice on your magazine is that there will be a little white button, and when you pull your spring all the way down to load your magazine, before you put it in your gun, you're going to want to press this little white button on here, but this will be all the way down there. But there will be a little white button there, and you just press it to release the spring from the locked mechanism down there so that the BBs can be fed through the magazine and through the gun. So make sure you do that before firing. That is a key point. Now for the CO2. What you want to do is you want to pull this down, and then this top piece or plastic cover will come right off. So just push a little bit and you should be able to take it off. So when that's off, you will see this. And right now it's really loose, so I can turn it with my finger. But all you do is you unscrew it, you put your CO2 in there, face down, so that in there you guys can see there's a little needle which punctures it, which allows the gas to flow through the magazine and let your gun fire. So when you do that, you just put this back on, turn it with your fingers, and when it gets hard to turn, because that means it's hitting the CO2 cartridge and you can't turn it anymore with your fingers, use the back side of the cap, and you can just turn it with the cap until you hear it puncture the CO2 cartridge, and keep turning it until it stops hissing, and you'll be good to go. And when that happens, just put the cap back on, just like so. So I know I wasted a lot of time talking about the magazine, but I just want to say that the durability of the gun, I have to say, sucks. But the performance is absolutely outstanding, which I will do for you guys later in the video. But now onto the gun. I'm going to try and do this pretty briefly because I know I'm taking up quite a bit of time. But first, I just have to mention the whole lower receiver is plastic. So this, plastic, the trigger guard is plastic, the hand guard is plastic, which is okay, because that you can't really have a metal hand guard or pistol grip. But here is also plastic, back here plastic. But now when you get, sorry about that, but when you get to the slide, it is full metal. So you can cock it back. It's full metal. The trigger is double action, so you can pull the hammer back, fire. The hammer is metal, the trigger is metal. I guess I could call this the bolt catch. When you're out of BBs, your bolt will go back and it'll stay like this. And when that happens, just pull this down and your slide will be good to go. Release your magazine, get the hammer up, and you're good. How you can take the slide off from the lower receiver to fix your hop up, adjust the hop up, or do any adjustments, you actually have to push that little button right there. And when you do that, just slide that down, and your slide should come off very easily. And you will scrape it up, obviously, but not that big of a deal. It covers it. And if you're wondering why there is a screw like that and not like the others, it's because that one was actually stripped, so I had to replace it, and this fits perfectly. So that's not that big of a deal. But so here, as you can see, you have your spring, your barrel, which is in there, and then your hop up, which is under this, which you could just turn with with your fingernail. So very nice slide, full metal, and the trigger, or the fire selector switch, here all the way up, it should say SA, and that stands for semi-automatic. And then when you go down one in the middle, it should say FA, which is for full automatic. And when you go down, the red dot's right there. When you cover the red dot, that means it's on safe. And there is a little S right there, if you can see it, for safe. So, but when you're putting the slide back on, make sure it is on semi-auto. So all you have to do is the reverse, slide it back on, just like that. I have to push this little thing down because I had to actually fix my gun. So that's what I meant by the durability is poor. But when you get that, just slide it all the way back, push that up, and you're good to go. Just like that. Put your magazine in, and you're ready to fire. So now that I've done a brief explanation of the gun, why don't we get to the shooting test? Because I know you guys are really interested in, or you really want to see me shoot it. So without further ado, I showed you everything. Didn't say about this, but do have a nasty orange flash hider. There are no threads, so if you want, you could get a barrel with threads. You could replace the barrel, and you could get a silencer for it, but it does not come with threads. So, but anyways, guys, I pretty much told you everything about the pistol. Or one more thing, a trademark on the actual pistol grip is a little skull, and around the little skull there are some writing, and it just says Special Operations Command and Miami, Florida, and the skull right in the middle. So pretty nice. But now let's get to the shooting test. Alright guys, so now on to the shooting test of the video. I'm going to be shooting at 50 feet, 75 feet, or actually probably 50 feet, then 100 feet, then 125 feet. Because I'm pretty sure it will reach the target at 100 feet. That's why I'm skipping 75 feet. But I am using .20 gram BBs and a fresh 12 gram CO2 cartridge. And they say on the website that the effective range is 50 feet. I know that's not true because I have been shooting it and I know it shoots way farther than that. But anyways, I'm going to be shooting at those distances. So why don't we get started? And they say the gun's shooting at 350 to 450 FPS, which I think is true. But anyways, now let me go back to my first target, which is around 50 feet. Alright guys, so at 50 feet, you're definitely not going to have a problem. I got one right in the bullseye already, and then 2 to the right and 2 to the left. So out of 5 shots, I think that is pretty accurate. So now let's go all the way back to 100 feet. Alright guys, so I got another one right in the bullseye and a lot around it, as you guys can see. So at 100 feet, I'm telling you guys, this is pretty strong. I knew I was going to hit it at 100 feet. So that's why I skipped 75 feet. But if you heard some background noise, that's because the wind was even picking up a little bit and it knocked some stuff over. But anyways, let's go to our final distance, which is at 125 feet. So let's go back, and if it reaches it easily, I'm going to go back to 140 feet. So let's see what happens. Alright guys, at 125 feet, you are still hitting the target, but you are starting to hit towards the bottom. They are starting to drop. Some of them went close to the bullseye again and shot up because the wind, I said, is picking up a little bit, so they're picking the BBs up. But I have to say it's still pretty accurate besides the fact of these all the way down here and some right below the E, and there are a couple more below that out of the view of the camera. Alright guys, so I have a empty Pepsi can here, and I have my gun loaded back up with .20 gram BBs and a fresh cartridge of CO2, and I will be shooting the can at probably 20 to 25 feet. So let's go back and let's see what this gun can do to a soda can. Alright, so I'm out of BBs. Yep. So, big gap right in the Pepsi logo. One up there. Dents everywhere. BBs went completely through. So this gun is strong, you guys. It will hurt if you shoot someone. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Aftermath. Or the Aftermath Typhon. I'm still not sure how to say that, but I hope you guys enjoyed my review. And I always try my best to do these, guys. I'm sorry that if the video is too long, but I just want to do my best to make sure you guys know what you're buying. So thanks guys for watching. This was well worth the money, and I'm happy I bought it. So thanks guys for watching, and if you like this review, please give me a thumbs up, and if you like my videos, please click that subscribe button. So thanks guys for watching, and please subscribe.